Okay, so in this tutorial we're going to model our own double hyperbola. Start off by opening a new part file from our templates created earlier and open a sketch on the front plane. Firstly, sketch the center line. This will be the center line for our double hyperbola. Okay, that's sketched at any size, so we will use the smart dimension and dimension it whatever size you like. In this case, I'll dimension it 400 millimeters. And hit the F button to zoom to fit. Next, using our line tool, making our line coincident with the center point of this center line, as this will be the first of our double cones, sketch a line. This line is completely underdefined apart from being coincident with the center line. So select it, hold Control and select our origin. Using the horizontal relation, it is now horizontal with the origin but still underdefined, as it can be any length. Now, using our smart dimension tool again, select the point of a generator of this cone and the center line. Bringing it to the right of the center line tells our part that it's going to be a symmetrical part we're going to model. So in this case we make the diameter of the cone 200 millimeters and hit enter. This line is now fully defined. In our surfaces tab then, select revolve surface. Now, our revolve parameters, the axis for the revolve is our center line, and it has already picked up the generator for this cone. Show that the angle is 360 degrees and hit the green arrow. Now we have the first of our double cones. We'll have to show the sketch, so expand the surface revolve, right click on sketch and the pair of glasses, show. This will be needed later on, so open a sketch on the front plane again, hit the space bar and double click normal to. Now again select the line option and we'll draw the generator for our second of our double cones. Insert one line. Now again I've made it coincident with the apex of our first cone, but the rest of it is still underdefined. So select the end of it, hold Control and select the top of our center line and make it horizontal. This line is now horizontal, but again, same as before, it's still underdefined. So select it again, hold Control, and this time select the bottom of our first generator and make it vertical with this. Now it is fully defined. Again, surfaces, we want to make a revolved surface again. Now it's asking us for our axis of revolution. So we stick with the center line as before, and again the angle is 360 degrees. If this angle was 180 degrees, it would only give us half a cone. So we make it 360 degrees and click the green arrow. Now we have the two of our double cones. Now these are in the way we're going to insert our focus spheres next, but our cones are in the way. So expand the feature manager, and across from our revolves we can see a pair of glasses again. This is to make it transparent, so select this for both features and they both become transparent. Again, leave the sketch showing because we'll need that for our focal spheres, which we're going to sketch now. So open a sketch on the front plane and hit the space bar and normal to again. So now we're going to use a 3-point arc. So the first point of our arc is on the center line, as is the second, and the third then will be the radius of it, so set it at any size you wish at the moment. And now smart dimension it. So in this case I've decided to make the radius of this cone, of this sphere, 45 millimeters. So now it's set at 45 millimeters but still underdefined. You can move up or down. Also, the center point of the arc isn't defined. So select center point, select the end point, hold Control in the meantime, and hit the make vertical relation. Now we know that these are all going to lie on the center line, but again it's still underdefined, it can go anywhere. So we'll select our arc, hover our mouse over the generator, hold Control. Now this symbol here that's come up is the edge of our surface. We don't want that symbol to pop up, we want just the line, that vertical line there. So click again, and now we can see add relations tangent. We want to make a tangent to it. So select that, and now this is fully defined. Okay, so now we add in our center line. I'm going to add a center line in the middle of our double cones and mirror this arc around it. So mirror entities to mirror, select the arc, mirror about the center line. Now this arc is already fully defined. as our initial arc was also fully defined. So now surfaces again, we want another revolved surface for our focal spheres. Now this has selected our axis as the center line we've just drawn, but we don't want that. So select that and hit delete, and select the center line of our double cones. It's already selected our arc, so there's our focal spheres there, and hit the green arrow. Okay, now we're going to put in our plane on which our double hyperbola is going to lie. So this plane is going to be parallel to the right plane. Click on the right plane, hold Control, click and drag, and a new plane pops up. Now this is set up for distance at the moment. We don't want to set the distance because, well, we know the distance, but that is only guesswork. We want it to be exactly tangent to the focal sphere, so we make it parallel. So at the moment this plane is parallel at any distance, so it's asking for a second reference. It's still underdefined, so click one of the focal spheres and that's going to make it tangent as it has here, and we can see here it's fully defined, so hit the green arrow. Okay, so now we want to insert a planar surface here for our model, so right click our new plane and insert a sketch. Hit the spacebar and normal 2. Now we're going to put in a rectangle for this surface, so center rectangle will do. Select the center of our double cones and draw our center rectangle at any size. Using our smart dimension again, I'm going to make it the same height as our double cones, 400mm, just a small bit wider, 210mm. Okay, fully defined again. So again, our surfaces tab, planar surface, and now as you can see here, planar surface is inserted. It's already selected our current sketch. Hit the green arrow. But now we have a problem, it's in the way. So same as before, the same as we do with our cones, make it transparent in our feature manager. Okay, and our plane is still shown here, so we just right click plane and hit the glasses to hide that plane. Okay, so now we have our surface, which will be our sectional plane for our double hyperbola. So now we want to see this double hyperbola, so if we go into sketch tab and intersectional curves, it creates a sketch curve on the intersection of planes, solid bodies and surface bodies. So we have surface bodies, we have a planar surface, and we have 2 surface revolves for our focal spheres and 2 surface revolves for our double cones. So if we select all 5 of them, we should get the intersectional curves, which will give us our double hyperbola and our circles of contact. So select the green arrow and we'll see what happens. And yes, sure enough, there's our double hyperbola and our circles of contact. Okay, so that's all we want to do for the moment. So hit the green arrow again and exit the sketch. That's created a 3D sketch for us, which involves the circles of contact and the double hyperbola. Now we want to put in planes along both circles of contact. To do this, we can do as before. Select the top plane, hold Control and click and drag. Now again, this is giving us a plane at a given distance from the top plane. We just want it to be parallel, and the second reference would be our circle of contact. So if we hover the mouse over it and select, current combination of references constraints are not valid. Okay, so we've hit a problem. What do we do? I'm going to delete that reference, but as well as that I'm going to delete the top reference as well, because we know with the circle that if we reference our plane on the circle, that it can go at no other angle. So now straight away, if I just select the circle, it's already fully defined. So what I had done earlier was I over-defined the sketch. I had given it 2 references when all it needed was 1. This circle here, okay? So that'll do us for now, so we click OK. And our new plane, our plane number 2 is in. So we're going to open a sketch in that plane and look normal to it. Hit the spacebar, double click normal 2. Center rectangle again from our origin. This is just going to be, going to start a planar surface here to represent the plane on which the circle of contact lies. So dimension this, kind of going to make it 210, the same width as the last planar surface we put in, and I'll make it a square. So press 1, select one and hold Control and select the other and make them equal. Now it's fully defined. Surfaces tab again, planar surface. Current sketch is highlighted already. Click OK spacebar, and viewed in trimetric, and there we have it. But again, it's in the way, so transparent and hide the plane. So now we want to put in another one, but instead of, we saw what happened earlier, a mistake was made. So if we just go to the insert toolbar in our SolidWorks toolbar options and reference geometry, a plane. Now we're inserting a plane, but we have no references. So that in the last case we were given the top plane was our first reference. We ended up deleting it, so we ended up with this here essentially. So now we have nothing. So if we just select our second circle of contact, it's fully defined straight away. Click the green arrow, and here's our plane number 3. Again, open a sketch, same as before. Look normal to it. Center rectangle from the origin. Now hover it over it. Select the corner point of the last plane we inserted. Last surface, excuse me, we inserted. And that's already fully defined. Again, insert plane or surface, current sketch, and view it in trimetric. And there it is again. So once again, we'll make it transparent. And we want to hide our plane. Right click and hide our plane. Now what's next is we're going to insert our directrices. So again, we'll use the same tool as before, the intersection curve option. At this time, we want to put in the directrix for both our hyperbolas. So directrix is, as we know, is the line of intersection between our sectional plane here along our circle of contact and our sectional plane along our hyperbola, and the same up here. So if we select all 3 and click OK, that gives us our directrices. Okay, and now we exit that 3D sketch. Okay, so now we have our hyperbola, our directrices, our circles of contact, our focal spheres, and our double cone. So now we can edit the appearance. So I'm going to edit the appearance here, this box beside our transparency option. If we click that and select appearance, we can change the colour of it. So this is the first revolve we did, our first for double cones. So here we have standard. So I'm going to change that to make sure it's transparent and select the colour, in this case a light red, a transparent, and the green arrow. Now that's only done the first for double cones and not the second, because they were separate features. So again, we'll have to do it with the ones left click and left click appearance, and we'll make this the same colour as before, transparent and a light red. Now we can do this with all of them. So the next I will do is the focal spheres. So this will be the same colour because they were the one feature. So I'm going to make them a yellow and shiny. These don't need to be transparent, so we'll make them yellow and shiny. And click OK. Our planar surface. Now this again has to be transparent, so make it a light green colour and transparent. Now we have 2 more planar surfaces, so we might as well change the colour in them. Again transparent, and make them a light blue. And click OK. And the last, we'll make that the same colour again. So it's nice to have colourful models for the class, just to vary the stimulus. So we can change the sketch of our change the colour of our sketch for our hyperbola and circles of contact again. Right click 3D sketch and sketch colour. Okay, so now we can make these any colour we want, red, whatever we want. So I'll make them red and standard. And the same with our directrices. So right click and left click sketch colour. These can be a purple. Okay, so there's our model. One last thing. Again, on the plane on which our hyperbola is lie, I'm going to draw a sketch. This time I'm going to insert the focal points. So we just draw a point, and we know that the focal point is the point of contact between the focal sphere and the plane. So highlight the edge of the circle and the center point will appear, and draw a point on that. And the same in the lower focal sphere. Draw the point and click OK. Now exit the sketch, and our focus spheres are there, so we can change the colour of them again. Sketch colour, purple, and click the green arrow. And there we have a model of our double hyperbola ready to be used in the classroom.